Today on Corporate Review, join us as we explore innovative technologies, cutting-edge solutions, and timely discussions from leaders across the globe. This is Corporate Review.
Traditionally, the pharmaceutical industry has been slow to adapt to new technology. This fact, along with a lack of the human element, has made clinical development projects a daunting task for many organizations. Well, here today to discuss how his company, ER², is helping pharmaceutical companies with their clinical development process systems, we have President Robert Musterer. Welcome, Rob.
Thank you, Jackie. It's my pleasure to be here today.
Rob, pharmaceutical development is really a huge topic. What have you come to find to be the biggest gaps and challenges that organizations face when it comes to these major projects?
Well, as you said, it is a very large area, and there's a whole portfolio of different systems that are being deployed to support the clinical development process. And what we find is there's a common theme throughout all of these, is how are companies looking at taking advantage of leveraging technology or information systems to improve the clinical research process. So we get involved with assisting our clients by looking at what investments they've already made. So basically, what is their current state and versus what is their future state that they want to be. So basically their as-is situation versus their to-be situation. And we assist them by looking at how they can take advantage of leveraging the investments that they've already made, because there's a lot of money tied up in these, a lot of time, a lot of effort, and how they can basically leverage the investments that they've made today and maximize the value that they get from those while building on and improving the solutions that they have in place to support their clinical development processes. So we start by looking at where do they stand today, where do they want to be in the long term, and then come back down to what is the next step in the process and the next step after that. So they have a logical, cohesive approach to solving their challenges. And the challenges will vary from company to company based on what investments they've already made to date, and obviously what are the particular challenges that they may face themselves as a company, because it will vary depending on the size of the company. So obviously the larger companies have much greater investments already in place, and they tend to have more ideas to the direction they want to go in, where the smaller companies have probably greater flexibility in looking at how they want to address their problems, but they all have a variety of common problems that they're trying to achieve by applying the technology to support them.
So specifically, how do you help companies with the clinical development process then? Is it really a matter of looking at what they already have and then figuring out what they need to complete their task?
That's a good part of it. So obviously we need to meet with them early on and review what they have in place today and then what challenges they're looking to overcome. And by looking at that, we can assist them by how they want to best maximize the resources that they have internally versus using external resources. And so it gets to be a pretty complicated series of different moving parts that they want to take a look at in terms of what do they have internally in terms of investments already made, what do they have in terms of internal expertise or resources available to approach problems, and then how they can best maximize the value of external resources and external systems to achieve their goals. And it gets obviously a matter of what their priorities are and also what their commitments are for their own pipelines, because they may have resources available internally, but if they have commitments in terms of projects that need to be delivered, in terms of clinical drug projects in the pipeline, that they can't pull those people off of those activities in order to work on the technology side, or whether they want to backfill the people working on the clinical drug projects so that they can free up their internal resources to work on the new technology implementation. So there's a variety of different trade-offs that have to be worked out with the individual clients in terms of what is best for their specific situation.
The pharmaceutical industry faces many challenges that all boil down to increasing costs and timelines to develop new therapies. The industry is very conservative and traditionally slow to adopt new technologies that might help to constrain costs and improve efficiency. These facts have a prevailing effect on a company's ability to address the practical needs associated with the development of new products. ER² is a niche consulting firm specializing in clinical development support systems, which help their clients to improve efficiency and cut costs. ER² provides the domain expertise and focus on the human element to assure the success of their clients' projects.
Our mission at eClinical Solutions is to make clinical research, data acquisition, aggregation, standardization, analytics absolutely simple and easy. And our collaboration with ER² enables us to provide innovative solutions to our clients in alignment to our mission. And also their domain expertise, thorough knowledge of clinical systems understanding makes it easy to bring innovative solutions to the life sciences industry, addressing some of the challenges they've been facing.
I imagine there are probably some competitors out there that are trying to help pharmaceutical companies work better with their clinical processes and their testing. How do you distinguish and differentiate ER² from your competitors?
Excellent question. There are numerous competitors in the field. The greatest competition that we face comes from large brand name established consulting firms. And the way we compete against them is that we provide people with niche domain expertise. And what we find is that the large providers, while they may have thousands of people on staff, they don't have that specific niche domain area expertise. And we've had clients voice concerns that they view working with the large competitors that is a bait and switch tactic, where the few people who do know their domain are involved in the pre-sales and the sales activity, but then once the projects start, those people are off to land the next sales opportunity. And so we've even been brought in on occasion as a rescue mode to basically be that liaison between the client and the large consulting firm, so we can provide that domain niche expertise and basically provide interpretation between the technology side of the house and the business users.
That puts you in an interesting position for sure. If you had a chance to talk directly to the persons responsible for selecting a firm to assist them, what would you say to them?
Hire us.
Of course. No, I mean, it sounds like being in the middle between the large agency and the pharmaceutical company is quite unusual, is it not?
I don't know how usual or unusual it is, but it is a niche that we find that there's a demand for, that they need people who have that domain area expertise that we can provide and can basically talk the talk with the business users as well as with the IT folks and be able to basically put the two pieces together and come up with a cohesive solution and make it work.
ER² focuses on one niche in the broad spectrum of pharmaceutical development so that they can provide domain area expertise to each and every project for supporting the selection and implementation of solutions to support the clinical development process.
ER² has been providing us with business analysis and consulting and supporting our product development strategy with Illuminate, our clinical data repository analytics platform. Illuminate enables clients to bring data from different systems and sources into one central repository, providing them real-time access to this data for actionable insights. ER² consultants have been specifically helping us to design and develop and implement rich, smart and easy to use data visualizations within the analytics platform. Their domain expertise and also good understanding of how different business units within the clinical development organizations analyze this data is of immense value to us. So with their consulting help, we are able to deploy and implement standards-based data visualizations, enabling different information consumers such as data managers, clinical scientists, medical monitors, and also executive management to get answers to the data very easily.
I know you touched on it before, but how would you describe the mission of ER²?
The mission of ER² is really to assist clients in adopting and deploying new technologies to improve the clinical trial process in a timely manner.
And in doing so, to conserve their resources, I guess, right?
It's definitely to conserve the resources and to, more importantly, to get greater value out of the data that they are collecting. One of the buzzwords today is to transform it from data into information. So we get involved with assisting clients with looking at data visualization techniques as well. Basically, companies are building these clinical data repositories, and it's kind of like well, let's build it, and once we have it, we'll see what we can do with it. And there's the need to look at a rigorous approach to define, well, how are we going to view this data? How are we going to really be able to get information out of this data? And more importantly, how do we display this information in a concise manner so that someone can look at it and take action on it in a timely manner?
Well, Robert, you sure make a good case for ER² being a crucial and critical partner for pharmaceutical companies who are looking for some help in their clinical development solutions. Thanks for joining us.
It's been my pleasure.
For Corporate Review, I'm Jackie Bales. Thanks for watching.